We are testing wrist flexion, MMT, today. The wrist flexion motion has two muscles, the flexor carpi radialis and the flexor carpi ulnaris. The origin of the flexor carpi radialis is the medial epicondyle of the humerus, the antebrachial fascia, and the intermuscular septum, and inserts at the second and third metacarpals. It is innervated by the median nerve, and the flexor carpi ulnaris originates at the medial epicondyle of the humerus via the common flexor tendon and inserts at the pisiform, the hamate, and the fifth metacarpal base, and is innervated by the ulnar nerve.
Okay, to perform a screen test, you are going to have the patient sitting on a table with their elbow bent at 90 and their forearm fully supinated. So we have to test it in 3 different positions. You're going to test the wrist flexors together and then test each of the muscles separately. So for the muscles together, you're going to just bend your wrist. That's a 3. To test flexor carpi radialis, you're going to bend your wrist leading with the thumb in the air. And that's a 3. And then to test flexor carpi ulnaris, you're going to lead with the pinky in the air. Perfect, so that's a 3. Now, if we're going to do a 4 and 5 for the flexors together, you're going to bend your wrist, and then you're going to apply pressure at the metacarpals of the fingers, and you're going to push down, so don't let me move you. That's a 4 and 5. To do flexor carpi radialis, you're going to have them in slight radial deviation and slight extension, and then you're going to push on the second and third metacarpal, and you're going to push down into extension and towards ulnar deviation. So don't let me move you. 4, 5. And then for flexor carpi ulnaris, you're going to have them in slight ulnar deviation and slight extension, and you're going to push on the fifth metacarpal and push down and towards radial deviation. Don't let me move you. Good. So that's 4 and 5. Now for grade 2, for gravity eliminated, you're going to have the patient sit in the chair and have their arm in neutral on the table. You're going to support their forearm so their wrist isn't completely dragging on the table, and you're just going to have them bend their wrist. That's for the flexors all together. For flexor carpi radialis, you are going to have them slight radial deviate and try to bend their wrist. Good. And then for flexor carpi ulnaris, you're going to have them slight ulnarly deviate and bend their wrist. Awesome. So that would be a 2. If they can't do that, a grade 1, you're going to have them supinated, and you're going to palpate the flexor carpi ulnaris on the medial side, right near the first finger on the other side of palmaris longus. And then for flexor carpi radialis, you're going to go on the lateral side, right at the base of the thumb.